man, Nintendo Switch Direct, man. I hope they announce Silk Song, because that's a game
Rhythm Heaven.
I am a happy robot, likey what I hear.
Okay, so the first thing we see is this little, I assume, girl who starts talking to us like, you know, and I think it's pretty obvious that this is going to be the designated host of this game, you know, the blue frog, the samurai drummer, the Tibby. This is the Tibby of the game. This little character actually has voice acting.
The game you're about to see doesn't have a big, epic story. Boop.
Which is pretty new for the Rhythm Heaven series. She also mentions that this game doesn't have a big epic story.
Boop.
Keep in mind of the wording. She is saying it doesn't have a big or epic story. And I think that's intentional wording because it could have a story, and I think it will. Considering this is a very distinctly looking and behaving character, I think we're going to see a specific story a la Megamix. But whether or not it's as in-depth as Megamix remains to be seen. Whoever this girl is, she is like 100% a robot. She has like the little antenna, she has a weird mouth, she says boop after everything she says. She's a robot. She's probably a robot. We also have down here the duck from a later game and a dog. And this is not the barista, or if it is the barista, man have they let themselves go. Considering the game in Japan is called, I think, Miracle Star, I think that's the name, which is a pretty specific name, not to mention there's a star in the logo. My theory is that the plot of this game is going to involve this little girl getting us enlisted in getting more stars for space reasons, and to do that, obviously, we have to play the rhythm games. But I mean, that's all I have to go off of. Again, the story is not really the important part here, but there's that. So this game is definitely the one they most extensively show. It involves these little circle jerks walking in a little row and hopping through hoops. Pretty simple stuff. I mean, it's Rhythm Heaven. Not all of these games really are. It's standard stuff. This is your typical clappy trio. Follow the rhythm of the people in front of you. Each time one of them jumps, they say a, I, U, E, O, which, if you don't know, are the vowels of the Japanese alphabet. Like that's the order they go in. So I wouldn't be surprised if later in the game they start going like kaki ku keiko or da di do de do. Maybe, I don't know. That's what I would assume would happen, you know. So if we're assuming all of this additional buildup wasn't edited for the trailer, this is most certainly the first game a la Hole-in-One, where the tutorial is like extra long to sort of ease you into like the basics of Rhythm Heaven, along with teaching you the game itself. We hear the game. This is the only game with actual music that we hear, and we hear it throughout the trailer.
Get into the rhythm with a brand new entry in the Rhythm Heaven series, Rhythm Heaven Groove.
One thing I'm confused about is the practice music before the full game starts. It sounds very different than the practice music we're kind of used to, like that fever unique to everyone with these specific instruments. Or even like the normal practice theme. I'm fine with a different practice theme. It just caught me off guard when, you know, I started thinking about it. I'm gonna call this game Hoop-de-Loop.
Whose fucking cat is this?
Okay, so this game looks pretty self-explanatory. You play as little cat statues, little lucky cats. You bounce along, assumingly the rhythm, and then you roll when instructed. Very simple, very like a flock step, very shrimp shuffle core, you know, that kind of thing. Probably the easiest one to explain, honestly. I'm gonna call this one Cat Conga. I'm sticking to it. So this next one's interesting because I can't really tell what the rhythm is in this game. I'm assuming it's the way they flap their wings, but they don't really do it in a specific pattern. They're following this leader, so what I'm thinking is that maybe it's like marching orders, maybe it's like any Simon Says game, maybe it's like Frog Hop. I don't know, but I really can't tell anything from this. It's the only one that really doesn't even look like a rhythm game, honestly. I'm gonna call this one Flock Flight. Yeah.
Hammer, man, hammer!
Continuing in the trend of Rhythm Heaven forcing us to get factory jobs, here's one where you smash a can with a hammer. Given this little reticle shows up way before you hit it, I'm guessing it's gonna make a noise and that's the cue to hit it. I'm assuming a gimmick for this game is certainly going to be that different cans will require different amounts of pressure, or maybe lesser amounts of pressure. That's pretty basic for Rhythm Heaven, so we'll see. I'm gonna call this one Can Crush. No, Can Do. Can Do.
Well, obviously we have a knife in the kitchen.
So this game immediately jumped out to me, and I think jumped out to anyone, because it truly is like the first time we've seen like a realer, like, I don't want to say realistic, but like a realistic human in the Rhythm Heaven series. I mean, the closest we got is Tangotronic, but I mean, even this looks way more like anime hyper realism, if we're going creepypasta terminology. So this one's pretty simple. Tomato flies at her, she catches it, and I don't think the chopping is like an action at all. I think the only action is to catch it. She's catching it from different directions, so I'm wondering if perhaps the direction you catch it is important at all, or maybe it's just hit it at the right time no matter where it's flying. Either way. Actually, rewatching it again while editing, it's pretty obvious that the ones on the left come faster than the ones on the right, so I think that's going to be where the source of challenge comes from, is timing both directions correctly, more so than just having to think about going left and right. I'm gonna call this game Kitchen Catch. Catchin. I'm gonna call this game Catchin. Is that a stretch? Is that for a pun? They did lumberjack, so I wouldn't put it past them.
Looking for something more needlessly complicated than jump rope?
So in this game, holy shit, this girl has a different skin tone. That's crazy for Rhythm Heaven. So you play as this little bottle guy who I love. I fucking love him. And you jump with the rope. You jump with the rope. That's about all we see here. We have this background, which I assume is going to change as it goes along. Like maybe you hop more to the right as you go. It looks like the area is gonna like rotate and stuff, but it doesn't look like it moves in the trailer, so maybe not. Maybe just stay stagnant. I'm assuming she'll like speed up her pace or slow down her pace, and that's gonna start tripping you up. You know, basic jump rope stuff. This could even be like an endless game, who knows? See how much wasted space is there on the right? I think this is intentional because what I think is gonna happen is this is going to be where you put the second player. Because, you know, the Switch's whole gimmick is trying to force in the multiplayer aspect, you know, getting all the characters in. But in this game specifically, it's worth pointing out, the left side has red, the right side has blue. Those are the two Switch colors. So I think that's pretty confirmation of it, to me at least. Maybe I'm crazy. Anyway, I'm gonna call this game Bottle Hop. Bottle Hop.
Why is he so small? It's really bothering me.
So in this game, you play as like little frog-like aliens who like squat up and down. If you haven't noticed already, those things in the background aren't trees. Those are grass blades. So these things are really tiny. One thing I really want to point out, because I don't necessarily get why this is, but if you slow down this footage, the characters are 100% not moving in sync. They're all moving at various speeds and stuff. And I don't really know why that is. If they're all moving at the same pattern, shouldn't they be all moving in complete sync? But some of them are a couple frames early, some of them are a couple frames off. and I don't know why that is. Also, I don't know, we don't know if you push the A button or if you have to go up and down on the control stick. We don't really know how any of these games play, except for the first one. Maybe some of them have motion controls, maybe some of them don't. I don't know. I'm gonna call this game Squatters. This game is gonna be called Squatters.
Flex it!
If you don't recognize this game, it's because for some reason it's not in the full reveal trailer. It's in the little montage they play after for some reason. I don't know why that is, but whatever. In this game, you bounce apples from one bicep to the other. It's very bouncy road, except instead of each one being a different one, it looks like you control both of them at the same time. So, you know, I think this one's pretty self-explanatory. You can tell how this could get hard. Just throw other types of fruit, maybe one that bounces higher, and thus you have to do it slower, maybe one that bounces quicker, maybe one that you gotta bounce back and forth or hit multiple times on one arm. There's also a seagull rocking out in the background. I imagine there's gonna be like other animals showing up, another hole-in-one type situation. This guy also reminds me of Mr. Sparkles. Could be him, could not be him. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna call this one Bicep Bounce.
Next year. That's almost now.
We get a confirmed year of 2026, again following the trend of Rhythm Heaven games releasing like way too late in a console's lifespan. More importantly though, we can hear the distinct superb sound effect from the previous games and a little bit of what I assume is this game's superb theme. It sounds like a superb theme, and not much else to go off of there. It sounds like it should. So this point isn't really related to the trailer. It's more just related to the state of, like, this is just a general prediction. So back when Megamix came out, it was pretty clear that the localization was kind of, they really had no faith in Megamix, it felt like. Not only was the game not physically released, they announced it the exact same day they released it. So it felt like that doesn't really feel that special. It just feels like they wanted to get it out of the way as soon as possible. And most especially, they didn't localize any of the songs. Like, if you're just gonna make them MIDI trumpets, you might as well just keep them Japanese. So I don't know why they did that. But given that they localized the songs for the WarioWare games, like, they just flat out localized them, nothing else, I don't think we have anything to worry about. Really, the bigger worry should be if there are vocal songs in this game, which, I mean, we've gotten them since the GBA one, so I doubt there's not gonna be vocal songs. And unlike Megamix, this is an entirely new game. They're assumedly not reusing games from the past, so if these are all gonna be brand spanking new, then they're probably going to take the opportunity to use a vocal song when they can. Another pretty easy assumption I can make at this point is that there's probably going to be a Karate Man and a Samurai Slice. Pretty much just the things I would have said regardless of if we had seen anything about this game, just like, what's a new Rhythm Heaven game gonna have? Well, it's gotta have Karate Man and Samurai Slice. But I don't know, we know so little about this game. Admittedly, this reveal trailer shows us a lot, but not really a lot we can go off of. It's day one, guys. It's day one.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
This concludes my analysis of the Rhythm Heaven Groove trailer. I don't know if I'm gonna do this with all the trailers, but I like Rhythm Heaven. If you have any thoughts or opinions or analysis that I missed in the video, comment below so I can shame you. I can shame you for disagreeing with me. I give the opinions here. It's my video. You make your own video if you think you're so smart. I hope this isn't based on any real woman, because the internet's going to fuck her up, man.